Hello everyone, welcome to the Eastern Front. I have a visitor stay, the JWarrior, also known as Jake, and Jacob Live Forever. Okay, and I'm Iron Stitch. Today we're looking at the game Kemet, and the reason why the JWarrior joined us today, this is his favorite board game. He's definitely an online gamer, plays a lot on his phone with his friends. However, he has fallen in love with this game here. How old are you now?
10.
He's 10. He started playing this game when he was 7 years old. It's been about 3 years now, maybe even longer, but he was 7 years old when he started playing this game. For that age, he did quite well. He has actually defeated me in the game. Usually we play just him and I, so it is a bit easier for me because we'll get into it later, there's some resources with Kemet that if you're playing a 5-player game, they start disappearing really fast with the different players grabbing them. So I have a bit of an advantage, well, I guess as he does as well, where there's a lot more resources to be taken when you have 2 players. Anyways, why do you like this game so much, Jacob?
I like the game because it has many designs and how the people made the designs and the statues and stuff to make it look like ancient Egypt and stuff.
Excellent. Yep. And originally I was just, I purchased this game from a friend who's in my local gaming group here and no longer wanted the game, was selling it. So I purchased it, had never played it. So I was watching a video online of how to play it while the JWarrior was playing video games. And he just popped his head up and said, I'll play that game with you. And so we've been, I don't know how many times we played, but we've definitely played this a couple dozen times over the years, which is for us quite a bit. And one of the things though, my buddy here, the JWarrior, snapped this board in half. So as you'll see, I have some clips holding my board together because it's in 2 pieces now. However, we play the game a lot. It's a small price to pay for all the enjoyment we got from the game. So I might look into the new Blood and Sand version. This is the older version. I'm not sure when it was printed, but it's the first edition. The new one out now is called Blood and Sand. There are some people out with some videos that explain the differences between the two. I watched a couple of those before and determined that I wasn't going to get the new one at the time because the differences weren't enough to warrant buying it. However, now that my board's in 2 pieces, JWarrior, maybe I will. One of the differences I heard, we have these player boards that you can use. I'm not sure how well you can see it from there, but it has some numbers at the top that are called prayer. So it's like the amount of prayer that you can spend to purchase items in the game. And they have little indents in there. So when you put your piece in there, it doesn't slide around. And I thought that was a really great feature that I did like. However, I heard the board is better in this edition than it is in the Blood and Sand. Another thing that we did here with this game, we purchased these obelisks. These are not necessary for the game. They're just accessories that we both think are pretty cool. JWarrior sometimes had a little bit of trouble seeing the obelisk on the board or forgetting that they were there. So I purchased these from a person, I can't remember what country, but in Eastern Europe. And they came pretty fast, actually, for how far away it was. And so now they're pretty obvious on the board where these things are. A lot of people in my local gaming group love them as well. They love their accessories like I do. However, in my hometown gaming group, some of the people there think they're kind of a waste because they're printed on the board. You don't need them. Sometimes when you're reaching for something, you knock it over. So they think of them a bit of as a nuisance, but they're not as into accessories as I am and some people in my local gaming group are. So again, they're not necessary. Depending on how much you like these kind of things, you could find them to be a nuisance as well. Or if you really love accessories like I do, maybe they become something essential that you want to have. In the game, there's 5 different factions, so it could be up to a 5-player game. We have the board set up right now, and you may not be able to see from there, but this is the 4-player or the 2-player side. If you flip it over, you have the 3-player and the 5-player side. There is no solo mode that I know of in this game. So there's different colors, blue, red, green. Remember what the other colors are? Anyways, there's 5 different colors. So Jacob's usually blue. He also, you get sets of cards here that everyone gets the same card. So black's a color, blue, green, yellow, and red. So Jacob's always blue because he bends the card. So he's not allowed to use other colors so that only one set of the cards gets bent to a degree. But aside from that, we got some other accessories. These were from Board Game Geek that I really like, but they have the different factions on the bag here. To be honest with you, I'm not even certain I have the right factions in the right bag because I'm not sure which is which really. I'll look into that later, a bit more later. But anyways, the one thing with these bags, when you draw the string, they don't really stay closed. So we just could have looped them over and pulled them closed. I did buy recently, I bought some just plain bags like these that do, when you draw the string, it stays done up. You could turn it upside down and stuff's not going to follow there. Whereas if I don't tie this little knot here, if I turn this upside down, all the pieces would follow there. And that's the one thing I don't like about them, although they're very beautiful. With these bags, my sister-in-law has a small home business where she imprints stuff on t-shirts and so on. And she could actually put some different pictures or whatever I want for Kemet to indicate what's in these bags. So I'm looking forward to doing stuff like that in the future. But these are really beautiful and they fit the pieces just right. These are a little bit big for that purpose. Anyways, I know one of Jacob's favorite things in this game are the creatures. So I'm going to let Jacob show a few of the creatures. Maybe not all of them, but he can show some of them to you there. Which ones are your favorites?
Snake.
Snake's his favorite. Now, what does the snake do? The snake, he hasn't played in a while, so he's a bit rusty. The snake actually cancels out other creatures' powers. So in this game, there's no dice rolling. Each player, when you go in for an attack, you add up the number of units you have, and you can't have any more than 5 units in a troop. There is one special card that allows to have 7, but you add up that points, and then these Divine Intervention cards can give you some extra bonuses, and also the creatures that Jacob's showing you can give extra benefits as well. Unless you have the snake, it negates the other benefits.
My second favorite would be the phoenix, since it can go over the walls, and
Right.
since you can go over the walls, you can attack into your enemy's territory, which, like, you can take their cap over their pyramids if they have a high pyramid, because if they have a higher pyramid, you could get higher stuff, and if yours is lower than theirs, it would be better to attack their pyramid with this.
That's right. So we'll look at the cards in a little bit, or sorry, the tiles, the power tiles. And so basically, with your pyramid, you start off, these are your pyramids, so you have a red, white, and blue. There are also black dice in here because there's an expansion. The Tie City expansion there adds a black color in. So you can have a first level pyramid, a second level pyramid, third, or fourth. And based on the number of your pyramid is what you can buy. There's level 1, level 2, 3, and 4 for your power tiles. And you can buy, of course, the level 4 are much more powerful than level 1, but you have to pay to increase your pyramid. And each level of pyramid, it costs that number for the pyramid. So, for example, if you wanted to go from 1 right to level 4, it's going to cost you 9 points. So 2 for level 2, 3 for level 3, and 4 more for level 4. So you can go from 1 to level 4 all in one turn, but it's going to cost you 9 prayer. And again, on this board, it's limited to 11 prayer in total. You can never go above that. So if you can pray all you want, once you're at 11, you can't go above that.
Also,
and one more thing with the Phoenix, each city has walls, so the Phoenix can just ignore the wall and go in. Otherwise, if you're attacking with your unit, when you get there, you have to stop at the wall and go in on your next turn. The Phoenix allows you to go in, if you have the movement, go in directly into the person's city. And one of the things when you get to level 4, you get a victory point for that. It is a temporary victory point, so as Jacob noted there, if you take someone's pyramid, you get their victory point for that as well, which of course the person can take back, but maybe that 1 point ends the game for you. Okay, what else you got here?
So my third favorite would be Scorpion.
Scorpion's pretty powerful. He's a good fighter. Gives you extra strength in the attacks.
And Elephant.
He buys the elephant a lot as well. Also gives you extra power in your attacks. Some of them give extra defense, extra movement, different things like that help you in the game. And the more expensive the creature is, the more powerful it is with the abilities that it has. One of the Jacob's maybe downfalls in this game, not to pick on him, but because he loves the creature so much, he probably buys too many of them. Really in the game, I think if you had 2 maybe 3. That's probably enough. 3 probably is too much. 1 or 2 is probably ideal. He loves buying the creature. He buys them a lot, which he's having fun, so who really cares? But he'd probably be a bit more successful if he bought less creatures during the game. He has improved with that, but that was his first weakness, was buying too many creatures at the start of the game. Well, okay, thank you, JWarrior, for showing those. Now, since my game board has come apart, I've got 2 things on here to fix it. The one here, this is too big, but I used a bigger one so that you could see it, hopefully, on the camera there. I call these bulldog clips, but they're just your standard clip that you would use to hold paper together.
Yeah,
I'm going to
cool.
take it off here. Whoops, since that's going to fall there. So just your standard clip. Again, I call them bulldog clips. Not sure if that's the proper term. You can see now how the board comes apart. On this side, I have these little rubber holders. I used to have a glass display case, and it would just kind of go on the glass where it sits on the metal piece that holds the glass up, and I think it reduced rattling and stuff when you were taking things in and out, opening the doors and stuff like that. So these actually work really well for that, because they're, with this here, even when you have a smaller one, once you close it, there is still a bit of a bump right there from that, and you have this piece that hangs on the board. Whereas this one here takes up just a few centimeters on the board. It's very much out of your way, and it's not intrusive at all for that. So anyways, a couple of options you have here. I'm sure other people maybe have other great ideas, because sometimes you get boards that just aren't together to begin with. They come like this. This one was at one point attached. Thanks, JWarrior, that it no longer is. But some boards, for example, some Axe and Allies one, which is my favorite game, some of those boards are just like this, and I have custom printed one-piece maps, but people use bulldog clips and other ways to hold them together as well. Other things in this game that, well, let's look at the power tiles first. So first of all, with the power tiles, as I mentioned before, there's 4 levels. You have your level 1, level 2, 3, and 4. So normally when we would play this game, we'd set these up on the table. Actually, JWarrior would set them up. Even when he was 7 years old, he would use the paper I'll show you in a second that has them all listed on there, and he'd set them up in order. So if we were looking at, we have here the power tiles. Wrong one, but anyways, I have printed them off as well in color. You can see the different ones there. So you can sit there and say, oh, I want to get the Stargate one, and the person that's over here can pull off Stargate from here and pass it to the appropriate person that wants to purchase that. However, sometimes you can't really tell because there's a few things gone. You can't really tell what's gone here. And also it's a bit of a, they get moved around, pushed around and stuff like that when you're doing things. People have to get up from the table and walk around. So my dad, he's not a carpenter by trade, but he is a hobbyist carpenter. I asked him if he could make us something like trays to put these on. And this is, didn't even really give him that much information, just said, you know, I gave him some of the tiles to look at so he knew for the size. And I think these are beautiful, what he built here. Hopefully you can see them well. I'm going to do another video later that just more close-up of the accessories and stuff. But I think he did a fantastic job. I like the color differences on the border versus the center pieces there that are very light color. I have several pieces that my dad's made for me that are from wood. I love things made of wood. I don't care if they all match and stuff like that. I love the feel and look of wood. So anyways, now if JWarrior wants to purchase his Phoenix, he knows it's right there. He knows what it is. He just say, hey, no one has the Phoenix yet. I want my Phoenix. But if he's buying something else on the third line here that he doesn't normally get, he might say, hey, can I look at the tray, what's left in the tray? And instead of him getting up and walking way over, I can actually just pick up the tray and I can pass it over to him. And he can now take a look at what's on there. And when he's done, he can set it down over there. And he can pass it back to me if I need to look at it. And especially in a 5-player game, the whole table can get really crowded. This is a pretty big table here, but it can get quite crowded when playing this game because of these things. So now we could actually keep them stacked as well if we wanted to. So I have one here for the red, white, and blue power tiles. And I also have some spares over there and some spare lids that my dad made for us, because there is a black power set that comes with the Tai Seti expansion. We've actually never used that. In the dozens of times that we've played, we've never used that expansion because we enjoy the base game so much, we've never bothered using the expansion. However, we do have that, so we have an extra tray for those. Now, I do believe, even though I haven't played it, if you are using that expansion, you would take one of these colors out because you'd only use 3 colors while playing the game. So I think one of these colors comes out, although I'm not certain of that. And there is, I believe, a purple set of power tiles that maybe it's inside Seth here. We're going to open that very shortly. But I bought that years ago. Well, Jacob was 7. We started playing this game. And I thought, well, with how much he loves it, I'm buying the Seth one. But again, we haven't become bored of this base game yet enough to use the expansions. So we'll see what's inside that Seth very shortly. One other thing that I did add to this game, well, actually, first I have this. This is from a different game, but it's a first player token for another game that's, maybe it's called Tutankhamun. I can't remember really, but when I was buying things recently from, it was either Board Game Geek or Meeple Source. I really don't remember which at the time. This was on sale, and so I purchased it. Actually, no, I didn't get this. I got it from a local gaming store here, Board Game Bliss. But anyways, it was on sale for like 75% off, so it was kind of dirt cheap. And I thought it might be cool to use for the first player token here. What you do normally in this game is you have, I didn't bring them out, but you'd have little discs the same color as your units in here. And you'd put one there for red and say one here for blue if Jacob's blue. And the person with the least number of victory tokens, Jacob, focus, with the least number of victory tokens decides what order this is going to go in. So in a 2-player game, it's only 2 things here, but on a 4 or 5-player game, person with the least tokens can decide who they want to go first, who they want to go last, and so on. And there's advantages to going first, advantages to going last, and so on. So it's not, it is an important decision to make, but it's not a horrible situation if you end up being the last person to go. So it really depends on other circumstances. So anyways, I purchased this just to, you can pass around as the first player token or pass around to the player whose active turn it is maybe. I'm not sure what yet, just for the price of it, it's Egyptian themed. I thought maybe we could use it for something in this game. The last thing I got, and I have a few pieces here, I purchased a folded space board game organizer. This was probably also from Board Game Bliss, but it could have been 401 Games. I'm not sure which one, but it was on sale. It is for Kemet. It fits in the box just right, and all the pieces have a spot to go in there. Honestly, I don't really like it. One of the reasons is I do travel a lot with my games, taking them to my hometown when I'm going back to visit my family, and I have 2 gaming groups there that I play with. So this will come a lot that way as well. And when the game gets turned sideways stuff, and this stuff will all jump out when I get there. They're all over the place like this. In fact, as I do that, I can see I have victory tokens inside the box. I have some other pieces that should be in with those here, JWarrior. These should go inside those boxes there. When this one here should just have dice in it, and it has other things, and that's from stuff spilling and going in the wrong box and so on. And then, so that's partly why I purchased these bags, and then eventually on Facebook there's a Board Game Geek page, whatever it is that I'm subscribed to. And a lot of people ask the question for people when they're storing their games or have a lot of mine sitting flat. And people ask about people that put them on the other way, like put them on the shelf this way, how they keep their pieces from going all over the place. And a lot of people said they use baggies. So that's why I purchased these baggies. I got a set of 100 of them. And that's what they're going to be for going in there. So I didn't really like, and with the baggies, like even just with these little baggies here, and adding this, a plastic bag with the obelisk in there, it doesn't fit in the box with this folded space thing. So I think I'm going to get rid of it. Maybe see if I can just, sell it to someone. I'm going to do baggies, but as far as the folded space, I might just keep these for things like the pyramids maybe. But anyways, it's nothing wrong with the folded space. It fits in the box just right, and everything has a space for it to go in. So it's kind of cool that way. If you only play at home and it sits on your shelf flat this way, then this folded space would be fantastic. But for someone like me who travels a lot with my games, I don't like it because the pieces are all over the place when I get to where I'm going. So I think the last thing we're going to get to today for this video is Jacob's going to open up Kemet Seth, which is the middle one there if you want to reach that, JWarrior. I've already opened it up on the side there with the scissors so you can easily take the wrapper off.
Easy. Use your hands, not the knives.
No using knives for sure. And I already opened it a little bit for him so that it was easier for him to do this part. he's super excited about unboxing this here. He's been he likes this kind of stuff. Obviously, I get excited for it too, but I can't take away from him. You can pass me the garbage there, buddy. Thank you. Okay, so he's going to pull that lid off for the first time and see.
First, we have to see the design. Look how cool
Yep, there you go. Beautiful design. Kemet has some.
Like thing, and it's like an ancient, like God Ra kind of.
Maybe. Kemet has some amazing art to it. If you like that kind of stuff, ancient Egyptian history and art, you would love the game Kemet.
Oh gosh.
A little bit tough getting off the first time. There he goes. So you can just put the lid back there.
It looks like Wolverine, but a girl.
Could be, yeah. They've some metal claws there or something like that, but some wicked creatures.
A booklet of all the games that they made.
Yeah, so that looks like the company that makes this Madagot, if I'm pronouncing it correctly. Looks like some other games that they have and so on there. Well, this might be the one that has. This probably is the one that has the purple tiles because I can see that's the French one.
This is the French one. The purple tokens are called Seth Power Tiles.
Seth Power Tiles, okay.
And then, so they have purple. The whole thing is purple.
Excellent. So I always wondered where the purple tiles came from. I saw them on a video. Now we know they're inside our Seth box.
Oh, I think they also use blue power. See? Or the other one.
Okay, cool. Those might be maybe some extra blue power tiles that you get with this. I'm not sure. But anyways, super cool that they're in there. So let's see what else is in there. You can just put those here with the rule book. We don't need to look through the rule book right now.
The rule book?
One's in French, one's in English, I assume.
One in French.
We live in Canada. We're in Ontario, Canada, the GTA, Greater Toronto area. So everything purchased here has to come in English and French.
Look how cool this looks. It's good that it's stable together so that nothing falls out. Look how cool. Like, just the design. Just watch the design first.
We can punch those out later, but it's got a new power tile player board in there, which actually looks a bit bigger than these ones. You get it out? Yeah.
Oh.
So pass it over here.
Oh my gosh, the back.
Oh wow, that is beautiful. So the back of the old one's pretty nice too. Wow, these are really beautiful. But if you look, this player board is actually much larger than the original ones.
They're popping out by themselves.
They do. So that one's coming out already, which is fine. This one, this is probably something to do with how the expansion plays, but it's got another board there of some kind.
Just a random one. Nothing good about that. Just one.
So more power tiles here. This probably has something to do with scoring, maybe. Not sure, or they could be. Not sure. It's all one piece. So there's probably something to do with scoring. We'd have to read the rule book on that. So another map. This is a small map, and actually there's some small ones right there. If you, oh yeah, there's some pieces in there. Whoa, anyway, so this probably adds to the map somehow. It looks like almost like a puzzle piece. I don't know if there's something else that helps with that to keep these together. I'm not sure, but that's kind of cool. There are some separate pieces there from the Tai Seti expansion.
We have cards.
So some new cards, battle cards. So these are the purple one, I guess. So you could add a purple player to the game. It adds another player.
This literally is purple.
Purple, yeah. So and then I wouldn't have a bag like this for us. That kind of sucks. But I do have these bags which are a bit larger I could use. But so yeah, it looks like you can add another player when you use this set there.
These ones. I think,
they're the Divine Intervention cards, right?
Yeah. So, these ones, like, how it says day, you can do this, like, during any time in the day, and some of them have battle on them. Like, you would see, like, it looks like the Kemet design for a battle card, and then it shows what you can use during battle, and right here it shows how much prayer it costs.
Excellent. So
cool
the game, we didn't mention this earlier, but the game is divided into day and night phase. The night phase is more maintenance where you get everyone gets 2 prayer points. There's certain effects that happen at nighttime happen then. So the night phase goes really quickly. The day phase is when it's like Jacob does his turn. Each player gets 5 action tokens. It's a 5 or 7? 5, I think.
5.
I think we all get 5 action tokens. So on the day phase, if it's just Jacob and I playing and he puts me to go first, I put one of my tokens here to pray, get my prayer points, then it's his turn. He might decide to buy a power tile, and so on. We use up all our 5 tokens. When that's done, that's in the day phase. So if you have a 5-player game, the day phase can take a long time, whereas the night phase again, it's still pretty quick.
And then if you have like one of those territories secure with the victory token on your side, on the night you get to claim those prayers.
That's correct. And also, if you have two of these, they're called temples. If you have two temples in your possession at the end of your turn,
temple.
Sorry, not the end of your turn. It's the end of the day phase. Yes, one of the night phase. If you have two temples, you get a victory point for that, and I believe that's a permanent victory point when you achieve that. So that's pretty cool.
We have more prayer tokens.
So here's like a purple pyramid. That's pretty cool. I'm not sure. Yeah, there's only one of them though, but that's really cool to have. And you can see some other purple action tokens and stuff like I was just talking about that you would need in the game. There's the square token. You probably can't see that there, but that would go on the board count there.
Wow.
Excellent. It looks like some new creatures.
Look at these designs.
Well, go ahead and open that bag and take a look at what's in there.
Yay, open bag.
Wait. Let me open it for you?
No.
Okay. There you go. You can take those out and see what creatures we have in there and see if you know what those are.
Alligator.
It looks like a lizard or crocodile for sure. I'm guessing a crocodile based on...
That one.
Yeah, I'm guessing it's a crocodile based on Egypt, which is the theme of this game. I'm guessing it's crocodile, but this is a really beautiful... The sculpts are really fantastic. Although it looks like he has some like tusks like a boar would have kind of thing. You can see that there, so maybe a hybrid of some kind, but really beautiful sculpt. I don't know if you can really see it that well in the picture, but beautiful, beautiful sculpt.
We have this. It looks like a kind of type of eagle.
Or a vulture, maybe. With the head, it looks like a vulture to me, maybe. You think so?
With the neck. Yeah, the neck.
Yeah, so hold up close to the camera so people can see that beautiful, beautiful sculpts. And that's one of the things that I love about Kemet. It looks so beautiful on the board. Another reason I was really excited with these obelisk, which I do want to paint black like these ones here. I just haven't got a chance to do that yet, or maybe a grayish black. Jacob can help me with that for sure, so they look more like stone. But just the board looks so beautiful, and I think with these on the board, it looks even more beautiful in my opinion.
In my opinion, I like them because it has like little ancient Egypt sculpts that like the old people made in the olden days.
Those are called hieroglyphs, and they are beautiful, done really nicely. Beautiful, these 3D printed obelisks.
He's holding on.
I'm not even sure if they were made for the game Kemet or not, or how I found them, but as soon as I saw them, I knew I had to have those. So what's this one?
A god. Definitely a god.
Let me take a look at this one here.
That guy.
Yeah,
See,
I don't know who that is from Egyptian mythology or religion. I'm not sure who that is, but Jacob's right. That probably is the person. And again, if you can see it very well, the sculpt is just gorgeous. He's got wings or something on the back, like feathered wings on his back. He's got a staff and a hook of some kind. Pretty powerful looking dude, although he's small compared to that giant crocodile.
Then we have a snake.
Well, I know whose favorite piece that's going to be for sure. It will be the JWarriors. So this snake, again, these sculpts probably are a little bit better than the original ones. The originals are beautiful, but he seems to have... do you think that's a bird that's caught up in his tail there? And he's got something he's holding in his tail. So I don't know if it's a weapon of some kind or if it's prey. Maybe he's caught a bird or something in his tail, but he's got something in there. But hold up to the camera as well, let people see that. This looks like a human.
Yeah, this is a human. Look.
You think so?
You have the 2 feet.
Let me take a look then.
Look at the bottom of it. You have the 2 feet. If you look at the bottom, you have the 2 feet, and then if you switch it up, you can see a little spot.
You're right. So that's probably like a almost like a rattlesnake, although I don't think there's rattlesnakes in Egypt. But that does look like a human that's tied up in his tail, and that's part of his tail there, that piece. So he's got a hood like a cobra that has spikes on it. He's got some spikes on his tail there, but JWarrior is right. That is a human that's in his tail. So this is a colossal-sized snake for sure. These sculpts, what do you think compared to the original ones? Do you think these are nicer? Or about the same?
I think they're better because like they have like more scales on them instead of like these.
They're more smooth, aren't they?
Yeah, like these are more smoother with like them looking like they're very angry. These ones look like a little bit calm, like a real snake would be, unless it got a little startled.
That's right. I love the original sculpts. They're beautiful, but these are nicer. Wow, I'm very impressed.
Hey, I found a way to open it.
You got it open. See? This kid learns fast. I'll take the garbage there for you.
It slipped out of my hand.
So what are those, you think? Pyramids, maybe?
Yeah.
They probably have a special purpose in the game. It looks like the top would hold
They
something.
don't press down. Ugh.
Oh, do they come apart?
So triggered me. It looks like they do. Oh yeah.
Okay, so maybe with these you can build your pyramids. You start level 1, add 2 and 3 into them. I believe that's what they do with the...
oh gosh. Hey!
Yeah.
There's a little spot in it.
Anyways, we'll pull these apart more later. But the top piece does come out. And I know in the Blood and Sand, one of the things that is better about Blood and Sand compared to the original first edition is here's your pyramid in the first edition. They're different colors. In the Blood and Sand, you have something like this where the pieces come out. I'm not quite getting this one to come out. But assuming if these come apart in 4 pieces, you start with level 1, build your level 2, 3, and then put your level 4 in there to complete your pyramid. And if so, that's super cool to have these. Although there's only 3, it'd be nice to have more than 3. But that's super cool. Hopefully that's what they are. Maybe there's a different purpose to them. I'm not sure. But we will read through the rulebook at some point, and maybe we'll do a game with Seth included at some point, and even a video on that. I hope you enjoyed this video. We had fun making it. We don't have a script or anything planned. We just talk about it as we go. So hopefully we didn't miss anything. At some point, I will do a video just on the accessories that we have for Kemet to get a little closer up on these. One of my favorite things of gaming is the accessories. To a little bit more detail on those perhaps. But otherwise, this gives you an overview of the game. At some point, Jacob's really excited to do a playthrough on video. I don't think we'll do the whole game, so that usually takes us over an hour to do a whole game. But maybe we'll start a game.
See? Right here, if you look on the box.
Yes.
On this box? I don't think it has... Oh,
I don't have the bottom here.
No, I think it's at the bottom.
The bottom's elsewhere for that one. But with the Seth expansion saying 90 minutes to play the Seth expansion. And
this one does not even... Oh, wait. Yes, it does. This one has 60 minutes, which is 1 hour.
Right, and I do find when it's Jacob and I playing, and now he's going to break everything. He's already broke this board, now he's going to break the box, but, you know, he might not be around for the next video. But if he is, yeah, you'll meet him again sometime maybe. So, anyways, when we play just the 2 of us, it probably takes at least an hour to complete a game. We both do our turns pretty fast. When you're playing a 5-player game, it can be quite slow, not in a bad way, but it's not going to be finished in an hour. So we won't do the whole game. We'll probably just do a full turn so you can get the idea of how it's played. And for those who are interested or anyone who wants to learn how to play the game, it won't really be the whole game. As I said, we'll just do 1 round because it would take over an hour to do the whole game. Anyways, that's it for today. Thank you very much for watching. Talk to you soon.
Bye.